Round 1, we are facing CrazyCranium. We are on the play. I have no idea what they're playing, but our hand is absolutely fantastic. We're going to keep this. So here, what we want to do is lead off on Dark Ritual, and if that resolves, you cast Duress, and if it doesn't resolve, we pass the turn. There's no point in casting a Rite of Flame or anything else first, because then you're just burning resources. So, alright, here comes Dark Ritual. We most likely win at this point, and it turns out our opponent's on lands, which is actually really, really bad for this specific hand, because they could get Gamble or Crop Rotation for Tabernacle. Wow. That's rather unfortunate for us. Wow. Jeez. We'll take the Crop Rotation. So now we need to decide if we're going to, what we're going to do. So, this is really interesting. Okay, so I feel like it's almost just best to pass. Because we could burn a Petal, which is an initial mana source, which is what you really need in this matchup. I mean, it's unfortunate that it happened, but, you know, it is what it is. Our opponent did not wasteland us, so that gives us life for the second turn. Unless they're just playing Mana Bond here. Okay, and that's what is happening. So, realistically, we're probably not going to win this game. We're just a little bit too far away. Delta's fine. We're still not doing great. And they found the Thespian stage, so they're going to be able to make a 20/20 next turn. So this is Stage Tabernacle. So they're currently a mana short of making a Merit Lage. So we get one more draw step. So we get this draw step and one more. Okay, so we're gonna search up Basic Island here and cast Ponder. So this is interesting because we almost have a Past in Flames line. What we could do is, I just don't think we can get up to 20 Storm, which is the biggest issue. So we could go draw Volcanic, and then draw Infernal Tutor, Rite of Flame, Infernal Tutor, Rite of Flame, but I don't think we can get up to 20 Storm is the biggest issue here. We need a black mana in order to do so. What we could do is Infernal Tutor for a second no, because we can't Infernal Tutor. We don't have we can't copy Lotus Petal. So I think we have to shuffle this. Alright, Brainstorm gives us life. We're going to need a perfect Brainstorm next turn. We need them not to dredge a Ghost Quarter or a port. And they dredge Ghost Quarter. Alright, so we're probably not winning now. Oh, that sucked. If they Ghost Quarters, they can't make a Merit Lage. So they might not want to cast Loam. Because let's say they tap Taiga and Krakus. Now they can play Ghost Quarter. They can either Ghost Quarters or make a Merit Lage. Okay, here is nothing. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Okay, so... yeah, unfortunately this is just a loss. Okay, so we want these Echoing Truths. We do not want Empty. And we're going to set out Ponders. You really, really want Discard on the play. And that's how we board 4 lands. That's a really tough loss because almost any other matchup that Empty Thorns is good enough to win. Even against that specific hand, if they only had Crop Rotation or only had Gamble, I would have gone for Goblins. Alright, we're just waiting on our opponent. And I apologize if you can pick it up on the mic. I'm not sure if you can, but my opponent is currently snowblowing. Or, not opponent, neighbor is currently, yes, my opponent is currently snowblowing outside. So if you can hear a snowblower, blame my opponent, not my neighbor. Okay. So triple Burning Wish is pretty bad here. That doesn't really do anything we want to do in the matchup. I'm going to mulligan. This is a much better hand. So we're going to bottom this just because we don't want to make goblins, and our hand doesn't really do anything else if we keep the Burning Wish. So So we're going to lead off on the Underground Sea and cast Ponder. We're not searching up the basic island because I want to be able to use this as a shuffle effect if need be. But we're not going to keep those, so... So what we're looking for here is for our opponent to not play a turn 1 sphere, and then for us to draw Infernal Tutor. That was not Infernal Tutor. So we're going to play out the Lotus Petal to help us against sphere resistance and those sort of things. But now we're going to pass. I would expect a sphere resistance here. Our opponent gave us the window and we missed it. Crop rotation for Ancient Tomb, probably. Okay. They're giving us a lot of time. Hopefully we can draw into something relevant. That was not what we needed. They had double sphere resistance. Wow. Huh. I don't really care about the surgical. No harm in playing out the Lion's Eye Diamond here. And there's the sphere. I don't like these sorts of people that I play against where they just sit and not do anything. I get it that like you have your own clock and everything, but like just play. Okay, so because of the sphere, I'm going to play out the Chrome Mox. So this way, it helps us if we draw an Infernal Tutor, we can just cast Infernal Tutor into Ad Nauseam eventually. And Red Flame won't be great due to the surgical. Brainstorm was a good draw. Okay, so I'm going to Brainstorm on their end step. And now they have a Grove. So they still have 2 unknowns in their hand. That was really good. Okay. So on their end step, we're going to bounce Sphere. And then we will win on our turn with Dark Petition. Maze of Ith, very, very good in this matchup. And now we'll search up 2 lands. We're not going to grab the basic swamp due to Ghost Quarter. Holding control. Now we get Ad Nauseam. We have no 4s in our deck, which means we can go down pretty low. The only card we have to play around right now is currently the Surgical in their hand. We have the Burning Wish, which is fantastic. And that should be enough. That's Storm 4. Yeah, I don't see any reason to continue. We'll add a black, play another copy of Mox Opal. So you want to click on the one that you're going to keep. We have all 6 of our playable lands in play, which is kind of cool. Playable lands. We have 6 of our lands that tap for mana in play. Words are very difficult. Why do we even bother talking? Alright, game 3. On the draw, I think I like having more copies of Ponder than Thoughtseize. because they're most likely going to play their hate piece on turn 1 anyway. So if that's going to be the case, you want Ponders to dig for copies of Echoing Truth. It's also not too common that you win a game against lands on turn 8 post board. Alright, just waiting on our opponent once again. My neighbor is currently stopped with the snowblower, which is very nice. We'll slide this back up to the corner. Alright, another Goblin's hand. What we could do is we could just play Badlands, Chrome Mox, Rite of Flame, and then get Petition. I think I want to mulligan this. This is so close. Much better. I'm going to bottom that. I think the only way this hand could possibly be better is if one of the Infernal Tutors was a second land or a copy of Echoing Truth. Alright, so Gamble's not good here. If our opponent plays one Chalice of the Void, they're most likely getting it now, or they got a Sphere Resistance. So they got a Sphere Resistance. Boom! That is how we do it. Hold control. Very, very important to hold control. With our opponent being a surgical lands list, theoretically they could just get us by exiling a Burning Wish with, if we somehow manage to discard one, would be a way of losing. The old 30 card ad nauseum, pretty good. There is no chance that we could have possibly have died by revealing more cards, so there's no reason to stop revealing whenever. This way it just gives us the most resources to possibly play around Surgical Extraction. So they went and got Sphere. They had Tireless Tracker. Okay. Would have been relevant if we were a Telemann performance-based list. And there's no grape shot in our 75, so we cannot dunk on them. A Tendrils for 18 plus on turn 1 will just have to do. Alright, well, thank you for watching round 1. Maybe by round 2 I will learn how to talk, but this is pretty cool. Losing game 1 against lands, then winning both post-board games against lands. I still can't talk. I need to get some caffeine. Alright, round 2 will be coming up shortly.